The salty spray of the Ligurian Sea lashes across the deck as Genoese sailors haul ropes and climb rigging, their legs clad in sturdy indigo-dyed trousers. These garments are not yet fashion icons, but tools of survival, durable, affordable, and practical for men who lived hard lives on the water. From these humble beginnings in 16th century Italy, jeans would embark on a journey that carried them across oceans, into mines, across cattle ranges, and finally onto runways and city streets, becoming one of the most recognizable garments in the world. The story of jeans begins with fabric. In Genoa, Italy, textile workers produced a strong cotton-based cloth dyed with indigo, a deep blue pigment prized for its durability. The French, importing and adapting the material, called it gaines, their word for Genoa. Over time, the word morphed into jeans. Meanwhile, in Enciems, France, another sturdy twill fabric was developed, called serge d'Enciems, eventually shortened to denim. Together, these fabrics laid the foundation for the trousers that would one day define global style. For centuries, these tough blue trousers were favored by laborers and sailors. They resisted wear, held color, and stood up to grime. But their leap into history came in the mid-19th century, when waves of gold seekers swarmed into California. The harsh work of panning rivers and blasting rock demanded clothing that could withstand mud and stone. It was here that a Bavarian immigrant named Levi Strauss saw opportunity. Working with tailor Jacob Davis, he reinforced denim trousers with copper rivets at stress points, creating pants that wouldn't rip under pressure. In 1873, the first patented blue jeans were born. The miners embraced them, but they weren't the only ones. As the American frontier expanded, jeans spread to cowboys, railroad workers, and farmers. The image of the rugged man in blue jeans became synonymous with strength, resilience, and the mythology of the West. By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, jeans were no longer just functional. They were cultural symbols, stitched into the fabric of American identity. Hollywood helped seal their legend. Western films of the 1930s and 40s glamorized cowboys in denim, turning practical workwear into icons of masculinity. After World War II, jeans took another leap. Turning soldiers brought them into civilian life, and teenagers began to adopt them as a form of rebellion. In the 1950s, stars like James Dean and Marlon Brando wore jeans on screen, giving them a dangerous allure. Suddenly, jeans were banned in some schools and seen as subversive. The very trousers once worn by sailors and miners now symbolized youth, freedom, and defiance. By the 1970s and 80s, jeans had exploded globally. Designers experimented with cuts, washes, and branding. Jeans became high fashion, worn on catwalks as often as in workshops. They crossed social boundaries. Worn by rock stars, politicians, and everyday people alike. The universality of jeans came from their paradox. They were humble yet powerful, rebellious yet mainstream, timeless yet always evolving. Today, more than 1.5 billion pairs of jeans are sold every year. From their Genoese roots to their American reinvention, jeans embody globalization, culture, and identity. They are both workwear and luxury, a garment that can signal rebellion in one era and respectability in another. Their history is a story of transformation cloth spun for sailors that became the uniform of miners, cowboys, rebels, and finally, the world. The next time you pull on a pair of jeans, you're not just wearing pants. You're carrying centuries of history stitched into fabric that crossed seas, fueled gold rushes, defined subcultures, and still refuses to go out of style. What began in Genoa has become universal proof that the simplest garments can carry the weight of history on their seams.